For some of you, it might be challenging to erase and start, and so I would suggest not doing this. I know most of you are probably going to do it anyway, so that's just the life we live. Okay, up, down, tracing my ears. Am I pushing hard on my pencil at all?
No.
No, I'm not. I'm just barely tapping my paper so that I can kind of see up here, up here, up here, up here. Where am I going to start with this first? On here.
At the top.
Like where at the top?
Like of the picture. Right?
I'm going to start with a background photo first. Just like when we paint with regular paint, we start with a background first. Paint back to front. But we're not going to overlap where we're putting our things. So sometimes it might be easier for you to figure out where you're going to put your things first. Like this is like an okay sketch. Because then I know like this is where my things are. Okay. So, but I have to erase those before I really start. So right now, I'm going to do my background. I'm going to start with what color?
Blue. Oh yeah, green, sorry.
Yeah, and I might even consider doing like a flat wash because I want to do that blended bleed situation. So remember we do that whole thing. Except for right about there is the ground. And I want the ground to look different, so I'm probably not going to pre-wet that area. Okay, and then I'm going to get this area wet. I'm going to kind of do this color. Is this green the right green? Nope. So I don't want to use that one. I want to switch it to more of these brownish greens.
What happens if you find out that you're using the wrong color?
What am I doing right now? How am I cover it up? Or what can you do before you start?
Check it.
You can practice on a piece of other watercolor paper or on your own like sketchbook paper. So I'm working up to the edge of where my thing is, but what color is my animal on the edge?
Brown, gray.
On the very edge of my animal is brown? What color is the fur?
White.
It's white.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna paint that spot. So I wanna be really mindful of how close I'm getting to my little pre-sketch.
So, but never use the white paint ever?
Never use this white gross paint, please.
Alright. Can we use your fancy white paint?
No, you really shouldn't use white because watercolor is supposed to be see-through. So watercolor should be see-through, meaning that what color is my paper?
White.
So should I really ever need to use white?
No.
Because I should be able to see the white if I just use like water, right?
Yeah.
You know what we should do a project in here? Make a picture, but we cut out pictures from newspaper and make it all into one like collage.
Sure, why don't you do that on your sketchbook?
Yeah?
Well, that's your project. I'm the one gonna be picking the projects, but that does sound like a cool idea. So I think you should explore that in your sketchbook. That's why you guys have sketchbooks.
Isn't that what they did over there?
We've done similar projects before, yeah.
Wow, you're moving fast.
If you don't move fast, it will dry.
That's sick, dude.
That's radical, dude.
And if you stop, it will get a hard edge. Do I want hard edges in my blurry background?
Absolutely not.
No, so I have to keep this area kind of consistently wet all over and can't really stop in any one spot.
Okay, so what do you do about the wrinkles? Which one are we doing today?
What about what wrinkles? So the paper is naturally going to bow like that. It kind of like moves around.
Yeah.
And you sort of just have to like, you can tape it down, but for this project, I'm not bringing in tape to do that. If I were doing this professionally, like for a client or like I wanted it to look really good, I might tape down the edges and create a border. I just know like it's not worth it in here.
Can I pay you to like color something?
Yep, you can pay me a lot of money to color something.
Oh my gosh. I'm so gonna bring in the homework.
Okay, so now my background is kind of done. I don't really love this spot over here, but because I only have like 3 minutes to get this like finished, I'm just trying to get you guys to see. So it's all kind of blurry. And it's not the same as this. I don't need to copy this. This is somebody else's beautiful photo. I'm just using it because I kind of like this animal. Maybe I might write something about like a natural quote in the corner just because I like to add little things of that. Like I like to add words into my art. So maybe I leave that space kind of open so that I can go back and add something. Whatever it is, see how it's drying out? We always want to keep our brushes wet, so we don't want to let it dry out. So if you see that happening, then you got to get your brush just wet. Okay? And then wipe up any water. So now that really needs to dry before I can start working on this part of my animal. So we'll let that dry, but while you're waiting, you can start planning what you're gonna do next, or you can start working on smaller areas. But now that I finished that, once it does totally dry, then you can go back in and erase some of the pencil. Some of the pencil that's underneath the watercolor will not erase. And that's why I don't want you to use it, because it won't erase once you put watercolor on top of it. Okay, so today we are going to start our like our pre-project. You have to get this done before you can do your actual project.